Number 1. What are some common safety tips to remember when using a tobacco harvester? A. When leaving the seat, de-energize all moving parts. B. Never allow another worker to ride on the machine while you're driving. C. Never reach into the machine to unclog the headers while the machine is running. And D. All of the above. Number 2. Which of the following safety precautions are recommended when driving a harvester on public roadways? A. Wear a seat belt. B. Use a pilot vehicle. C. Use slow-moving signs, flashing lights, and/or reflective tape. Number 3. This safety video is all you need to be completely trained in the use of the tobacco harvester. True or false? As farm acreage has increased, mechanization has increased. Tobacco farmers have been using mechanical harvesters, also called primers, for a number of years to reduce the labor cost associated with hand harvesting or hand priming tobacco. Harvesters can assist in lowering labor costs while increasing productivity, but when used improperly, they can be extremely dangerous. Prior to use, proper safety training is essential. This video is meant to assist you in recognizing the hazards involved. Operate these machines safely to prevent accidents and fatalities. This video is a training aid, but is not complete. You will need on-site training to ensure you understand the type of harvester you will operate, the specific field you will be working in, and the type of tobacco you will be harvesting. Flue-cured and burley tobacco each have their own type of mechanical harvesters. There are some basic safety features to remember. First, you should never, under any circumstances, reach into the moving heads of a tobacco harvester, whether the cutter blades or defoliators are attached. It is a common misconception that only the cutter blades can seriously or fatally injure a worker. Before getting off the seat of the harvester, all moving parts should be completely de-energized. Some of the new machines do this automatically when the operator stands up, but most require the operator to take additional steps. No matter how often the headers become clogged or jammed, don't try to save time by reaching in while they are rotating. It could cost you your life. Also, never allow another worker to ride on the machine for any reason. When driving a harvester on a public road, be sure to use extreme caution. Harvesters are large and slow-moving, causing drivers to want to pass unsafely. Use pilot vehicles on the highway and use slow-moving vehicle emblems and retroreflective tape on the sides and back of the harvester. Always wear your seat belt when traveling on the highway. Be aware of road conditions, especially curves, hills, crossroads, and bridges. Visibility on these harvesters is limited, and drivers of passenger vehicles do not always exercise good judgment when driving around them. Pilot vehicles are recommended. There are steps you should take before operation. You should perform a visual inspection of the machine. Check that none of the hoses are leaking. Check the motor oil and the radiator water. Check all of the tobacco cutters. If you have any problems, tell your supervisor. Any visible leaks in hydraulic lines should be addressed. You should not touch these areas, but bring it to the attention of a supervisor or a qualified mechanic. These hydraulic lines can contain up to 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, and they contain extremely hot hydraulic fluid. You could be seriously injured or burned if there were a leak. Before operating a harvester, check your surroundings. Be sure there are no workers in the field around the harvester. Also look for any hazardous conditions such as overhead power lines. Some of these harvesters are tall enough to strike power lines. When refueling the harvester, be sure that no one in the area is smoking. Never refuel while the machine is running. The owner's manual for the harvester should be read and understood prior to operation. If there is not an owner's manual present with the machine, the operator should ask for one. If the owner's manual is not in the operator's native language, it is the responsibility of the employer to ensure this information is translated. When operating a mechanical harvester, wear the correct personal protective equipment or clothing. Follow the guidelines given in the equipment owner's manual. Your employer may have additional requirements, such as goggles or ear protection. Ask your supervisor what the requirements are. Employers must provide a safe work environment. Workers need to be trained on-site using the mechanical harvester they will be operating. If needed, use a sample checklist in the worker's native language to indicate proficiency with the machine. Employers should ensure the harvester is in good working condition, maintaining it and replacing parts as needed. The harvester should not be modified without prior authorization from the manufacturer. This video does not take the place of comprehensive on-site training. This presentation is meant to provide an overview of mechanical tobacco harvester operations. Your employer will use it as part of a comprehensive training program, not in place of one. If you are asked to perform a task on a machine that you think may be hazardous to your health or the health and safety of another worker, choose to be safe. Only trained and authorized employees should operate a mechanical tobacco harvester. Remember, safety begins with you. Number 1. What are some common safety tips to remember when using a tobacco harvester? A. When leaving the seat, de-energize all moving parts. B. Never allow another worker to ride on the machine while you're driving. C. Never reach into the machine to unclog the headers while the machine is running. And D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Number 2. Which of the following safety precautions are recommended when driving a harvester on public roadways? A. Wear a seat belt. B. Use a pilot vehicle. C. Use slow-moving signs, flashing lights, and/or reflective tape. The answer is all of these safety precautions are recommended when driving a harvester on public roadways. Number 3. This safety video is all you need to be completely trained in the use of the tobacco harvester. True or false? False. You need to be trained on-site on the machine you will be working with.